What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 307. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
I'm shedding a tear for Ray Liotta.
Damn, he looked rough in this movie.
Yeah, he did.
The color was bad. Like, cocaine bear.
Finally.
So is this the Elizabeth Banks that I think it is? That directed this movie?
The actress?
Mm-hmm.
Was it her?
I'm not sure.
We'll see. I just put in cocaine banks. I don't know why I did that.
Who knows what that? Yeah, you're gonna get some sus pictures pop up.
Yep, that's her.
Wow.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hilarious. Well, I mean, she's done a lot of comedies throughout.
Oh
the
yeah.
years.
Damn, not bad.
No. I like the way it looked.
Yeah.
The feeling.
That fucking ambulance sequence, dude.
Dude. When she came out of the back of it and her face went across the ground.
Yeah.
Whew,
Oh yeah.
hamburger meat.
Yeah.
We're gonna light us the candle tonight.
This is the woman that directed Pitch Perfect 2
Yeah.
that made this movie.
Well, this was the superior film. I'll go ahead and tell
For
you that
sure.
right now. Right now. Definitely the superior film.
Dude, when they're trying to distract it and it's under the pavilion and the idiot of the group, like that bear's just sitting there sniffing the dust or the mist of it,
Yeah.
and you just hear that guy go, "It's like cocaine Christmas."
Dude, that cop was like, wait a minute. Let's see what kind of effect that has on it.
Yeah.
He wanted to see.
Right.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I can't believe they let those kids eat that shit. Or like, they depicted them getting fucked up a little bit.
I think that's
Yeah.
why they had them eat it. It was like
When
that was quite a bit of
yeah.
cocaine.
Yeah. It was,
Like,
yeah.
well, just a little bit.
like it would have killed them.
I mean, dude, depending on how strong that shit was, when they put that knife, I was like, you ain't gonna be able to talk.
No. Jaw's gonna be running back and forth like crazy.
Or the fact that every time you thought the bear was dead, it would smell cocaine and come back alive.
Yeah.
Dude, and at the end, like how the cocaine bear was like the hero.
Yeah.
It was like a hero when it shows up.
Marvel,
It was
Yeah.
like, oh shit, fuck you, Ray Liotta.
playing his iconic "I'm the bad guy."
When it did the coke and it laid on its back and crawled like,
Yeah. It was licking around.
and then I think
Yeah.
did it get horny? Is that what's
think
going on?
so.
Like,
Or like the the cocaine bear was a metaphor for a white woman in the 80s for sure. But
when it fell on
what?
top of the dude, I'm like, there's no
No,
way
but-
you'd live through that.
But whenever it kills that guy in the tree and his body hits
Was
the
it just
ground
dangling?
and his leg, and then the bear lands, takes a couple steps, snorts the fucking coke off that leg, and keeps going.
Yeah.
The dude from Modern Family, Mitchell.
I mean, I never thought, like, whenever they announced that they were making Cocaine Bear and it was going to be off of, based on the true story and all that good stuff, like, I had no idea what to expect going into it. I was expecting, like, straight, like, horror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the feeling that I got from the trailers. Like the goofiness and the comedic parts of the trailer was the more over the top parts. Like, when the ambulance guy shows
Yeah.
up and he, and all that kind of stuff.
Or-
That's what I was expecting it to be. But
Or how about the way it opens, where that dude's on the plane, just drugged the fuck up, just throwing that shit out the window, fucking just like,
that's when I knew.
Yeah.
oh,
When he hit his head
Dude.
on the way out, it was like, oh.
well,
Yeah.
like this. What to add what you were getting across there, Griffin? Like this movie knew exactly what it was doing, and it leaned hard into the joke.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I was trying to explain this to Garbo and Corey last night, and I was like, I mean, it's just it's like a goofy 80s like kind of horror movie, but like Spielberg-ish, kind of like with the kids and the mom and all this kind of stuff. Like it really, like certain parts of the movie really felt like I was watching a Spielberg movie to an extent, you know?
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying in terms of cinematography, but
Definitely had like the look, the budget.
I
Yeah,
lean,
yeah,
to me, it leaned more into like Super Troopers, but it's a bear instead of the police.
I get that. I get
Like
that for
very,
sure.
like just yeah. This is the kind of movie I would see playing in the background at like a 20-something-year-old's like party or something
Yeah,
like someone that or like something you can have in the
Yeah.
background that's over the top. It's ridiculous, but you're not really paying attention to it. But every now and then you'll see some ridiculous scene, you'll get a
Yeah.
quick chuckle, and then go back to your night.
It's
You
like
know?
a Grindhouse with a bigger budget.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it was well made though, and like they made a pretty interesting story. I like how this place that they shot it at felt like it was like right down the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was a park, just like a regular park that was like right down the road, and they just showed up with some cameras and like we're gonna film Cocaine Bear. It's like
That,
cool.
that
It was
tattoo
supposed to
thing.
be like it was in Georgia. I think that's on the
Yeah,
IMDb. They're in Georgia, you know. And it was like, yeah, we
yeah.
hear the accents. Like that little
Oh
boy.
yeah, yeah,
Well, it's yeah. I think the movie starts in Knoxville and makes its way all the way down to the north Georgia,
Yeah. Yeah, he
and
dumped it on those mountains up there,
now I kind
foothills.
of there was a moment where I kind of like in the dialogue they keep talking about this area in Georgia called Blood Mountain, and I was like, is that what Mastodon was really talking about on that record?
I mean, what if, you know?
I mean, but
That would make
I
sense.
but either way, like I this is one of those like this should be. I mean, it's obviously starting. It's gonna start a whole new trend of like animals
Oh,
on
it
drugs
has.
movie. Yeah, it's
I've
already
seen
opened up
posters
the
already for like,
floodgates.
what was that, crack coon or something?
Meth Gator.
Yeah. They got a
That was
But like,
cocaine or a crack raccoon they're doing. I'm like, that could
well,
be
it's like
funny.
yeah.
in a fucked up way. This movie belongs on the shelf next to like the original Lake Placid.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Anaconda.
yeah, like just ridiculous animal
Oliver Platt.
movies, but like don't waste your time with the sequels. Like the movie one was the best. It's like the series of films that should have been a one and done.
Yeah.
Like I doubt this movie will get a sequel. I'm sure it made enough money to get warrant a sequel, but like you know I want more movies where it's a completely different scenario, but it's something equally as over the top.
Oh, I mean, yeah. This is going to be a whole thing moving forward until they pump enough of them out.
Well, you know, like they
So,
tried doing that shit with Sharknadoes, but the budget
yeah,
wasn't there.
and it was like Tara Reid can only be stretched so
Yeah.
thin. That's all I'm
I
saying.
mean, speaking of cocaine, you know,
Yeah, yeah. So you know, it's a hell of a drug, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was worth the watch, though. I mean, I was not upset after it was over by any stretch of the imagination. I enjoyed the hell out of it, just for a goofy, like, kind of cut your brain off. Not really.
it's a good
Just
time killer movie. Like
yeah, yeah.
it's a shallow enough plot that you don't have to put your fucking thinking cap on,
It
but
would
it's
definitely be
not.
fun to watch with friends.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
seen
it's
Cocaine Bear?
definitely yeah, it's definitely a party film. You know.
Yeah.
yeah. I wasn't expecting Ice Cube's son to be in it at all.
Is that who that
Like,
was?
yeah. That's
Monsters
Yeah,
Trigger
straight out
Finger?
of Compton, dude. Yeah.
yeah,
He bulked up a little bit, didn't
yeah. He's going for
There's
superhero role.
there's just so many just these little odd moments throughout the movie that just made it just that solidified it for me. Like, do I find myself revisiting it? No, only in a situation where it's background noise. You know what I mean?
I mean,
But
I might pick it up in a couple of years, you know?
but I mean, it was a well shot movie. I mean, that CGI bear was CGI as fuck, but that's not the point, you know.
It
Well,
looked,
like, it was funny when they get into the cave to find the daughter, and you find the cubs, and they're just like rolling around in the fucking drugs, like there's just a
Yeah.
duffel bag ripped open, and it's just I don't know, like there's really not a whole lot you can break this movie apart with, you know, like it's
yeah.
a very very direct, but it's I don't know. There's a charm to it. I think it's just because it comes out at a time where just even something as original and ridiculous of an idea as that. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
know it's based on like a true story and all that shit, but just a movie that's just something like Cocaine Bear compared to what we get in Hollywood nowadays. Like it's sad that movie can be considered refreshing, you know.
Yeah. But it was though, man. Like it was enough, you know? It was enough for me, and that's all that matters, you know? I enjoyed it. Cut my brain off, made Marina watch it with me.
Yeah, and it was only an hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah, in and out. So it was a good time though, man, for sure. Um, I mean, I could see myself watching it again, like not like this weekend or anything, but like I'm gonna leave it on the Plex. That's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like I'm not just gonna delete it off Plex. You know, I'm gonna leave it on there for a while.
It was
So,
a good little
but I mean,
comedy.
yeah, yeah, and that was refreshing. I wasn't expecting the comedic bits to come out,
I wasn't
and like,
expecting the gore.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
right,
whoa.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and the cast was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
you have Ice Cube's son. You got the dude who played Han Solo,
Hmm.
Ray Liotta. I
That
was like,
was him. The
yeah,
guy that was going through the midlife crisis, his wife died.
yeah, yeah.
I was like,
He
dude,
was
this dude is freaking out. He's like, you just got to calm down, dude.
yeah,
He's like, where's my kid? He's like, he's at home. He's like, he's your fucking kid. Fuck, I look like taking care of kids. I wouldn't leave a kid with him.
no, hell no.
He's like, you want, come on, grandpa's going to show you how to shoot a gun. You know, it's like,
And his motivation too is just like, wait a minute, because like if he threw that much cocaine out across that vast of an area, how long? Even if the bear wasn't involved, let's think about this logically for a second. Even if the bear wasn't involved and was eating and doing all the cocaine and everything, how long realistically would it take you in 1984 to find every duffel bag that this dude threw out this plane? They would be dead. Like
yeah.
they would be executed before they found all the duffel bags. Like he should have tied all the duffel bags together and
Yeah,
threw
they all
one.
should
You
have
know what
went
I
out
mean?
the same time. I
Yeah,
think they
like
kind of fuzzed on that because that really did happen. And I don't know if y'all know this, but a package was actually found around there, like where y'all live. In
I
the 80s,
mean,
someone found a package of cocaine that was thrown out of a goddamn airplane. It could have been those
man,
people because it was something they did.
yeah,
They wouldn't crash the plane. They would throw the shit out, and I guess in the movie the plane was going down, but they
yeah,
would come across there and usually like dump it in the water. I mean, it would float.
yeah,
You know, nowadays you'd put a tracking device on it.
yeah. You put a little card on it.
Yeah, one of those Apple tags. Shit,
Oh, could you imagine trying to track that down with the Apple
you're
tag?
out there now. It's over here.
Yeah, it's like where? But yeah, it's. I mean, you know, it doesn't have to make sense. A bear was doing cocaine and
Yeah,
then got shot several times, and then became enraged once more. Like that bear died in real life, right? Didn't it OD on cocaine?
I'm not sure.
I think it did. But
I didn't.
still.
I knew that they fudged it quite a bit because I was like, it
Mhm.
didn't eat a whole bag of it.
No.
When it died the one time,
Oh.
then it smelled it. And it was like, oh, when
Yeah,
it
wait a minute.
crashed,
Yeah. Yeah, what's that
And that-
smell?
poof of it hit him in the face. It was like,
Yeah.
dude. When Dewey go get me a candle.
Yeah.
When she shot that kid in the head,
Oh my
it was
god.
like, whoa.
Yeah. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
He
It's
got
like,
in
you
the
didn't
way.
mean to.
Yeah.
Like, let's go hold up in court.
And this dude that they're like, let's show us the gazebo. He's like, me and my buddies, we're gonna move to New York. I was like, what the fuck is happening with this kid right here?
21 questions.
Yeah. John instead of Joan.
Yeah.
I gotta wait for 6 weeks.
I was like, y'all stabbed me.
Yeah.
My buddies are dead, ain't they? They are now.
Yeah. But yeah, it was I mean, it was enjoyable, man.
Yeah.
It's quotable. You know what I mean? Like for sure. And some of the scenarios are quotable too. It's like, wait a minute, what happened here? But yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to give it a full star.
Yeah.
I mean,
give it a
say
full
my
star.
standards have lowered, but I mean, it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
High on cocaine.
Yeah, I give it
What do
a
you
star.
think? What do you think, Trav?
Oh yeah, it gets a full star from me as well.
I mean, definitely gonna watch it again. I was just surprised Marina actually watched it with me.
What you think?
You didn't know what to expect.
She had no idea.
No,
You
She
just
was
let her
like,
watch the
"What's that?"
trailer first.
no.
You're like, let's watch
Here-
Cocaine Bear. What?
This is the only way that I can get her to watch movies with me. Hey, do you want to watch this movie? What's it about? I don't know. What do you mean? And I'm like, it's just the movie that we're doing for the week. I don't know. It's about a bear
Yeah.
that is killing people because it's on cocaine, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I kind of rope her into watching movies
Yeah.
with me from time to time.
Well, if you give her too much information, she might be like,
Yeah, that sounds stupid.
yeah, I don't
I'm
want
like,
to. Like, well,
yeah. Then after it was over, I was like, "You want to go find some cocaine?"
Yeah.
She's like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, you're right. You already like that." And I slid out the room real quick. Mando, though, this was a really good episode.
it was. This is the way.
Yeah, dude. I was not expecting them to bring those fucking hatchling birds back. I
No.
was like, this is, yeah. We got the foundlings and the hatchlings over here, you know?
Well, they're going to be riding those things at some point, right?
Oh, for sure.
Because they said something about training them and riding them and shit, that they used to
Yeah.
do that. Or
This is the only show where a practical effects sequence like Grogu could even be taken remotely serious.
yeah, dude. Because
Yeah.
like when he's walking
nothing-
and shit, cooling.
Nothing else. Yeah, you couldn't get away with any other type of character setting story because just that whole moment where he does the flip over the guy when they're sparring.
yeah.
and that
Yeah.
shit was. I mean, dude, I'm sitting there going, "Am I really watching this?
Yeah.
Am I really? You know, is
Because
this really
the
where I'm
movement
at?"
is kind of janky. Just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Well,
Like
it's
when
like
he's
I'm
walking, dude,
watching
you
it.
can tell that someone's turning it.
Yeah.
Like its
Oh,
whole
yeah,
body,
the
like you would walk an
puppeteering is
action
dead
figure.
obvious.
Like,
Well, it's like you see those moments and you think to yourself, or like at least I recollect back on like comments I've made where it's like as that's happening in my mind, I'm remembering moments where I'm like, man, it's the best show on Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is You know, like, and I'm just kind of questioning myself, but it made me realize that, like, yeah, like no other property or show could get away with something like that.
No. I mean, Mando was right. He's like, he's got it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he
gonna
needs to wear
learn.
a helmet. So he can't even talk.
You need to
And
practice with the other families.
I really dug the way they, and I mean, maybe it wasn't intentional, but the way that they depicted Coruscant in the future,
Yeah.
as opposed to back in the old Republic era, and just how much of a shithole that planet's become now. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know, you can tell.
It was, I like the little flashback sequence. Like, that was cool how they did that. Kind of see things from Grogu's perspective a little bit.
Did you notice all the Naboo, the Phantom Menace references?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was, I need to go back and rewatch the flashback portion again. I did pick up on quite a few things, but I know I didn't catch everything because it's just the way that the flashbacks would happen. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's happening so quick, and it's also, it comes at you at a moment where you're like, oh man, we're finally getting more of this. Okay. Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure that there's more in there that I didn't pick up either. But the only thing that really stood out to me was was obviously the ship and the way that uh, the officers were dressed. Like, they look like those people like when they're assaulting in the Phantom Menace when they're on the Boo.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, once I saw that very like bright, shiny titanium, I'm like, that's a reference.
Yeah. Naboo, you slag. Um, it was good though. Like, I was with him getting to Mandalore as quick as he did, accomplishing the mission. I was wondering what was going to be going on, but it's like, are they going to spend the rest of the season kind of like showing how they're kind of rebuilding their order and everything?
This is the way.
And here's my thing, like,
It's almost like we're gonna see a parallel where we see the reestablishment of Mandalore
yeah,
coupled with the early stages of what's gonna become obviously the First Order.
yeah, yeah. And and she's like, how do you eat with these helmets on, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me see if you guys connected the same dots that I connected here.
How do you know when
Okay.
to come back?
Well, not only
Are you
that, but
finished?
like they all leave, they
Yeah.
eat. Then I'm assuming when they get through, they come back to the campfire.
Yeah.
But they were rescuing that kid, which was that one dude's son.
Yeah.
So do they bang with the helmet on?
I mean, the helmet don't come
I
off,
don't know.
man.
I mean, I don't know how that
Well,
works.
This is the way.
Hey,
I
I
did
mean,
not think
hey,
about that, but
I did. I don't know why.
I think they're
but
cosplaying, dude. They're
well, if we're gonna entertain deep lore and stuff like that, wink, you know. I would assume that you get to a point where if you're married, I guess I'm going to use marriage or coupling, however you want to refer to it. I assume that like when
it's
that
domestic
happens,
partnership, Trav.
I
Domestic
know, I know. I don't. I ran out of sanitizer the other day. I can't clean this down anymore. But I've got to get more. I've got to go to the store, Griffin. Sorry, but
I'll let it slide this time.
no, but I assume like when the level of intimacy and companionship's reached, I'm sure that they're like, all right, the helmet's come off. Let me just depressurize my helmet.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and it's like they sleep with like the inside of them helmets. They gotta smell rough, dude. Like
I'm thinking you got the Iron Man interface going on. Like everything's zooming at that one eye, and you're like, I'm looking at Apple News. I'm over here at YouTube.
that was my biggest takeaway from the episode.
so
I'm
I
gonna-
just looked it up. Can Mandalorians remove their helmet in front of their spouse partner?
Yeah.
I said sex, but it was like, you'll mean this? I was like, yeah, that'll work. No,
I mean,
can't show your face
That
to
is
anyone.
That's so funny.
Anonymity. Like you don't even know who you're banging.
yeah,
like,
exactly.
You look
Like
like under
imagine
there.
Imagine their domestic troubles. They're sitting around the table. It's like, you don't even look
Like,
me in the eyes when we make love anymore.
are you
It's
gonna
like,
take your helmet off? No, this helmet, and they pull,
Pulls the unsheath thy
I
sword.
sword, purple-headed yogurt slinger.
I can't remember if I brought this up last week, and maybe we've brought it up before, just in the various conversations we've had on the show. But I think the name is a misdirect. I don't think Din Djarin is the Mandalorian. I think it's Grogu.
Well, that woman, when she made him that thing and was talking to him, I was like, he's gonna be a fucking Mandalore Jedi, dude. Like, he's gonna be one. He's gonna suit up eventually.
I think
Like-
it's a play on words, because I mean we're seeing him. He's had his Jedi training. We've seen that one-off shit going on where Papa Luke's like, let's do some cartwheels in the woods for a minute and let me satisfy your curiosity. And now he's back over here with Din, and I mean he chose to go back.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you're seeing the merging of their stuff and everything. And I'm sure there's some little niche fucking Wikipedia page that fucking explains more shit about Jedi and Mandalorians, but I think he'll be general audience's first big thing where it's like, I'm mending two cultures,
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's the most logical step, because, like, it's kind of like the idea of, like, I mean, what if, the whole idea the whole time was like, we're seeing Grogu's story play out, and Pedro Pascal just happens to be the, you know what I mean? Like, you see what I mean? Like,
yeah, and honestly, what better unifying message to have than than having a story like that where you're dealing with unity? Because like zooming out, Disney's catching a lot of shit for how
Yeah.
it's depicted in their products lately and everything.
yeah.
And this is coming from an observational standpoint. I have no fucking, I
Yeah.
don't have skin in the game. I ain't got Disney stock. I don't give a fuck. But it seems like they're trying to, it is what it is. And I think that Star Wars is a good vehicle to bring that back. And it's a cool plot device for a cute character that's clearly going to make them a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see how the rest of the season and the rest of the series, because like they've kind of hinted that like they're not going to run it too long as like the current Mandalorian incarnation, right? Like that, if I remember correctly, they have came out and said that like they're just going to do enough seasons to tell the story that they're trying to tell. That doesn't mean that Mando won't show up in other places
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
Grogu
and-
won't.
Well, I mean, to add to what Adam has said before in the past, there's probably a lot of sequences and shots where we see Mando, but like it is not Pedro Pascal.
I was gonna look that up and see, like, I'm almost certain, dude, that he does the voice. We know
Yeah.
that for sure. That's definitely him, but there's no way that's him in that suit every time. I
Well,
was gonna
whenever
look it
you-
up.
Whenever you look at if you pull it up on Plex at the bottom, it has like the cast. There's
Mhm.
like 3 different people that plays his body.
Okay,
double.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, you can almost tell in certain shots the way they walk.
Some of them
Yeah,
are
yeah.
shorter
You
too.
can-
Have you noticed that
and-
sometimes they look shorter?
yeah.
Yeah, and there's these certain shots where the way the dude walks, the gait that he walks with, you're like, man, he's having a hard time in that suit. Like,
Yeah. I think
there-
I think the first season was probably him. And then they just hired somebody that's like walk like him, or at
Well,
least try to.
Yeah.
well, if you remember, the whole drama during season 2, where they were like Pedro Pascal's not wanting to work on Mandalorian anymore, and the whole difficulty
Mm,
rumors and stuff. It
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me if they
Yeah.
sat down at a negotiating table and was like, "Look, I'll keep playing Mando, but on the episodes that you do not need my face, I do not need to be there.
yeah.
I'm a
I mean, if you're
voiceover
not going to use
actor."
my face, then now it does say
Yeah.
that he does play it sometimes, but it is played by a variety of stunt doubles and actors. Like,
Well, for
Well,
instance, I feel like
that
I
makes
feel
sense.
like I feel like his appearance in the
Well,
Book of Boba Fett, I feel like he was not on set for any of
yeah,
that.
definitely makes those reshoots cheaper.
exactly.
And I mean,
Well,
what a smart character to have for a crossover too, where it's this maskless hero or faceless hero that you can pull Gaffer number one off his position and be like, "Oh, put the damn Mandalorian suit on. We need you real quick."
well, I mean, same thing with Bo-Katan and the I can't think of her name, but the chick that's like kind of in charge, the Forge.
Yeah,
Like,
I know she's a renowned actress. So I can't remember her name though, but with Katie Sackhoff and Pedro Pascal, like those are not cheap. Those aren't cheap actors, you know.
right, yeah.
Well, she played her on the animated show too.
Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah, you're
actress.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
I saw a little, you know, in this episode, they're talking about her a lot. Dude, when Chief was like, "How do we eat?" and he's like, "Well, you get to sit by the fire since it was your idea to save the kid."
Yeah.
All right, cool. But then she takes her helmet off. She's like eating all slow and shit. I'd be in a hurry. Like, get my helmet back
I
on
like
before somebody
how
walks over here.
I liked now. I thought it was a clever thing that they wrapped the whole rescue mission up around all the other characters because I felt like you're following Mando, you have your suspicions of Bo-Katan, all that stuff's in the forefront of your mind by the time that part happens and they have the hunting party. That when everything goes down and Pav Vizsla goes, "That's my son." It kind of jars you back into like, "Oh shit, it's about this
Yeah.
fucking kid they're trying to save." I thought that
Yeah.
was, I was able to get invested enough in the episode that when that hit, you're like, "Oh fuck, okay, like yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
makes sense," because you know, Vizsla's character he's kind of scattered throughout other shows as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jon Favreau voices him in all the other appearances, um, but I thought it's like he's playing that version of the Snow Clan from Black Panther, where that guy's like, I'm a dickhead to everyone,
Yeah.
but I have a soft side
Yeah. I care about people.
too much.
I've been enjoying it. And I like it would be kind of cool if like they didn't like they ended this season, maybe they do another season, then they don't do anything for a while. And then like
Well, I mean, the production for this and stuff, which I know COVID kind of had a little bit to do with it, but it had been quite some time since we've got this season. So I think they know the special formula for it because by the time season 3 was out, we were all like, finally, goddamn, because
yeah,
it takes what it took. Like it was on hiatus between 2 and 3, what 2 to 3 years.
yeah, something like that. But if they do like finish the story out that they need to, I would love if they came in with either having them have an appearance on something else or like do like a one-off type deal where it's like Grogu's older, Grogu's
Yeah.
is a Mandalorian or whatever direction they take the character in, and you see like a much older Mando. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
would really like to see that because I think that would be really cool with all the shit that he's been through and then everything that Grogu's been through. Because like him remembering the flashback stuff,
Mhm.
like how is
Yeah.
that going to impact him? You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, but yeah, I
Well,
would love to see them.
Well, what little nugget of information are we still missing out on that they're still holding from us?
Yeah.
Because we've pretty much seen most of what there is to know about Grogu, other than diving into not just him personally, but the whole species, like Yoda's homeworld, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm interested as to what that little bit of information's could be or isn't there. Because either way, the thing with Mandalorian is it's got the hardest thing that any kind of property that's taking place during an era has with Star Wars, and it's the same for other franchises. But it's gonna be all dependent on how Jon Favreau parallel parks this bitch, because he's got shit in front of him and shit behind him, and he's got to nail it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I dug a little deeper.
Mhm.
So we're on episode. We just watched 4, right?
Yeah.
So Pedro hasn't played Mando in this. He's done the voice, but in every episode this season, it's been an
Yeah.
actor named Brendan Wayne. Do y'all know who that is? That's John Wayne's grandson.
No shit.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
John Wayne's
that's
grandson, and he does a lot of stunt double work. Like he worked on Cowboys and Aliens. Him and Favreau go back,
Right.
but a gunslinger,
Yeah.
the Duke's grandson
how would you like to,
is playing the Mandalorian
how would you like to play? Yeah, how would you like to play in a western
with
that's in
Pedro's
another
voice.
galaxy?
Yeah. This is the way.
Dude, talk
That's
about raking
really
in the
cool.
money. Just doing the voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of Rick Dalton, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I like it, man. It's just good to come back to the Star Wars world that we've all been wanting to come back to,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like it's those little moments, man. Like in the mountain trench run that they did a couple episodes back, all the way down to just Grogu as a character and what that signifies as, like, he's the power wielder in the group.
Yeah.
Able to go back to that territory without necessarily having to be held to a Skywalker, but just knowing that, everything's still moving right along. And Andor, for what we've had our million discussions on it as we watched it. Andor is what it is. It is good, but it's such a different texture of Star Wars than
Yeah.
what the Mandalorian is. And I don't know about you guys, but when it was doing the flashback, Favreau was able to capture how the prequel movies felt, because you could have
even the
spliced
color,
you could have
Yeah.
spliced that sequence out
you
of
could see
there
the Lucas in it, man.
randomly. Yeah, just fucking. You could have
Yeah.
cut that scene out, Fight Clubbed it into a prequel movie, and you wouldn't have been any.
It
You
looked
know
just
what I mean?
like it.
Yeah.
Another. Speaking of references and callbacks to that era and stuff, whenever Baron Calrenrek, I'm messing up the Jedi's name. I suck at remembering some of those names. But anyways, when he's fleeing and he goes through the fucking tunnel, that's like almost a direct reference to the Anakin Obi-Wan chase sequence
Yeah.
whenever they're chasing the assassin.
Shout out to
yeah.
Jar Jar Binks.
I had no idea. That was really cool though.
That is cool they did that for him.
Yeah. So we're gonna get what, eight episodes this season?
I think so.
So we've got 4 more left to go, which is good. I mean,
Any hints at any of the episodes having an extended runtime?
Nah, they
I have
don't
a feeling
release
that yeah.
They make you wait to see the next one.
So here's a big question I've got too. So Mandalorian, whenever they're done with the show, they rile up with the series finale. Is Disney gonna play greedy and keep it exclusively to Disney Plus, or are we going to get our physical Blu-ray release of it?
No, I think what they will do is they will do a very intricate box set. Did they ever release the uncut original trilogy? I know at one,
They
I know,
there was a they did do a release of that, but I can't remember because if you I mean you know just as well as I do that like as time goes on those re-releases got like Lucas just couldn't leave them alone.
yeah, I know that they were talking about at one time dropping the original uncut, theatrical releases of those OG ones. I
I just I don't see them doing at least Empire Jedi that way. I could see them commemorating A New Hope
yeah,
by doing that, but I also feel like they're so far down the investment
Yeah,
of having like everything
having
split
it on
out
Disney too. Like,
that for the sake of just making like just for the sake of continuity.
yeah,
Because the whole thing with those re-edits and remixes or whatever you want to call it is to make it to where if you watch the Disney Plus versions of the Skywalker saga right now, everything is edited to the point where it should flow seamlessly, with the exception of the age of
yeah, yeah,
whatever the stuff that's out that's just a product of time.
yeah.
Um, I just I don't feel like they would re-release it as a whole unless it was like I said, it would just be a one-off, and I think it would be the original '77 Star Wars.
yeah, here's an article from this month, and they say that a lot of people want to get it because they want to watch it in 4K or Blu-ray. I mean,
Yeah.
you're streaming this over Disney Plus, and it looks great, but
the
it's not
same movie.
4K. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not. You'd have to have a
Yeah.
physical copy. But it says, unfortunately, not even the big bosses at Lucasfilm knows whether Disney's going to do that or not. Like, they might do it, like, after a long,
Yeah.
they want you to pay for their subscription to watch it.
Yeah. But I can definitely see them in the future.
Like, when it's finished.
Yeah, when it's all said and done,
Yeah.
dropping like $150 Blu-ray box set with all the seasons, all the
Yeah.
episodes, behind the scenes featurettes.
Steel box
'Cause, you know-
Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah, something like that. And I mean it would be worth it, absolutely. And I guess the other big question is how bad in the future is Star Wars going to be hurting for money to recoup what they spent on it?
It'd be
You know
a
what I
good
mean?
cash grab.
Exactly.
Yeah. Once the
Exactly.
views
Well, I
drop
think-
down and it's like, okay, now we can release it as a.
Well, we have to also remember too, man, that we're also talking about the biggest sci-fi franchise ever made. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot ones that are good. There are some that are subjectively better than Star Wars, but when people think sci-fi, a lot of people immediately gravitate to Star Wars.
Yeah.
And so I think if it in terms of money, I don't think Star Wars itself will ever be in that position, but I
Yeah.
think Disney will
Yeah.
be. I think Lucasfilm will continue to do just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the top two, man. Star Wars, Star Trek. That's when you
Yeah.
think sci-fi. That's
it.
that's the top tiers.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of movie news here I'm going to hit on. So first up, I wanted to bring this up. Danny McBride finds Halloween Ends criticism is valid. So he's the writer and actor best known for his work on comedic projects, including Eastbound and Down, Pineapple Express, This Is the End, and The Righteous Gemstones. Served as an executive producer and writer for Green's Halloween trilogy. In conversation with Us Weekly, McBride discussed the film's backlash. I think that it is a valid criticism. All three of these movies was really David Green's sort of brainchild. He had a very distinct idea of what he wanted to do with this, and I just felt lucky that he brought me along for the ride to help him where I could and to try to give him anything I could on it. And when he told me his pitch for focusing on this Corey character, I thought that it was cool. I thought it was a smart take on it. I thought that it was a way to avoid repetition and sort of explore something a little different and still trying it in and still tying it into the Halloween's what Halloween's ultimately about. That's not to say that all that's not to say that all were unimpressed with Halloween Ends, as some viewers agree with McBride and have applauded Green's decision to take an unexpected route. Despite the film's reception, McBride enjoyed being a part of the iconic franchise. I'm a massive Halloween fan as well, so you just want to give something that would make the fans excited and not make the fans angry with you. It was funny to try to pull that off for better or worse and to get to meet John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis. It was kind of surreal to be participating and furthering that story. It was awesome. I've always tried to just pick things that keep me excited creatively or put me to work with people that I admire or have wanted to work with. And ultimately is the project something that I would like to see myself in. Um says
Well,
this
the one of the things under the article says that he served as a writer, meaning like he was one of many, clearly. So
I
I
think
wonder, like, like there was only so far he could go in the process. But I mean,
I think him and David Gordon Green were I think that they co-wrote it. I think, and then I think that there might have been one other person. Hold on, let me look and see. But I mean, I didn't mind it. It
No,
was a little bit different.
and you have to get, it always sounds better on paper.
Yeah, for sure.
With
Yeah.
your own imagination, you're reading that and you're like, this is fucking
well,
cool.
well, at the end of the day, you can look at, well, when you look at these three movies, you can almost look at this one as their take on kind of merging Curse of Michael Myers with Season of the Witch.
Yeah. Yeah. So and there's 4 writers associated with it. So you have David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, Paul Brad Logan, and Chris Bernier. They were all writers or part of the writing team on it. So, and yeah, like whenever you sit down and you're like, okay, it's going to kind of be like, is he alive? Is he not? Is he a figment of this dude's imagination? Like kind of run with it that way.
Supernatural.
Yeah. And to me, it did feel like it felt like a natural retelling of the complete Halloween, you know, saga that we had already got. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because the first movie felt very much like the first Halloween movie, and then the second movie felt very much like the more over the top Halloween movies, and then the third movie felt very much like, okay, we're going to try to do something a little different, like they did towards the end of the Halloween stuff back in the day. So it's like they tackled every aspect of it as a whole, but they were like they're not fans of the original Halloween movie. They're a fan of the entire franchise. So you kind of have to, take it
Yeah.
as like they factored that in when they were writing it, of course. So next up, new John Wick universe spin-offs and sequels teased by producer. So John Wick 4 has seemingly proven that there's still plenty of life in the franchise, and it looks like we're going to find out exactly how much further potential it has, with several new movies being teased by John Wick 4 producer Erica Lee. The franchise has recorded a huge opening box office and its highest review ratings with the 4th installment this past weekend, and now it looks like there is the possibility of a more sequels and an as yet unannounced spin-off movie. The John Wick franchise has already encompassed 4 movies: the upcoming spin-off Ballerina and the event TV series The Continental. While it could be possible for an action franchise to start flagging by its 4th movie, ask the likes of John McClane and John Rambo, this John has continued to build on its previous success and is apparently not showing any signs of slowing yet. Lee told Collider. There is another film that we're developing that I think we'll be announcing in the next, say, month or two. Then I'm hopeful there's a Ballerina 2 and John Wick 5 and lots of other things. but we're developing a lot of stuff and having a lot of discussions with a lot of writers and brand management, and the Wick universe is my utmost priority. The even mention of brand management suggests that John Wick's name is being heavily leaned into by Lionsgate, and remembering that they have had a hand in such well run franchises as Saw and The Expendables, then we could be seeing the John Wick franchise continue until it really hurts. It was a surprise hit when originally released and delivered a whole new franchise to the feet of Keanu Reeves. After building upon popularity over two subsequent sequels, the release of John Wick Chapter 4 has seen the saga reach a new peak, and the spin off movie, Ballerina, and TV event The Continental will ride that wave of popularity perfectly in the next year. When it comes to the future of the franchise, there's obviously talk of a fifth movie coming through again, but the story so far has thrown up plenty of other characters who would be explored in their own spin-offs. Erica Lee has already hinted at two characters she would like to see get their own stories told, and that leaves the question of whether one of these could be the focus for the new project. She previously said, "Yeah, I think the world of the Bowery King and the Bowery is something that we're really interested in exploring more of. He sort of runs the underground, and it's such an interesting world. How does he get the guns and the boats? He shows up everywhere. He's the leader. He has homeless running. He has homeless running the streets and information through pigeons. He's low tech and analog in a digital world, and he knows everyone and gets everywhere. I think that is something that's really interesting to explore." So, I mean, I've seen the first John Wick movie,
Saw the second one.
and it's not the reason that I haven't watched them isn't anything to do with like, oh, boring action
Yeah.
movie. It's just not something that I've sit down and been like, okay, I'm gonna watch the John Wick movies. You know what I mean?
I
Just
actually
haven't had
saw the
time
third one too, and it was just non-stop bullets,
I
start to
mean,
finish, dude.
that sounds John Wick as fuck, dude.
Yeah, that movie dropped yesterday, and worldwide it's already grossed 146 million. You know that Lance Reddick dude passed away. That's in the
No.
movie. The hotel manager, the black guy.
Yeah.
So he's been in all
Oh,
of them. Dude, he
yes.
died a
Okay.
week before this movie came out. He passed away. It was like,
Yes, because he was a huge voice actor for video games too.
I think so.
I remember people talking about him. Yeah, I forgot that he was the manager of the hotel.
Yeah.
That's right. The Continental. And if they're going to do a series about the Continental and he passed, that might put that on the back burner a little bit, So,
It makes sense though. They keep it going. Like, well, they're trying to think.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Keanu's not going to do these forever. He's like, I don't know,
no.
unless something
Yeah.
happens to
Yeah,
him in the movies, But
yeah.
but they're like, man, you really hate to let the franchise go because it's printing cash.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know how Hollywood be.
Yeah. So, and last night Travis brought this up. What was the name, Trav?
It was oh yeah. Depending on what month y'all wanted to do it, we could call it John Wick June or John Wick July, and we just knock them all out.
Well, I've got a proposition for the name. You ready? June Wick.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
June Wick.
And yeah, and in June we just not because there's 3 of them out. The fourth was in theaters. That gives us 3 months. Surely to God, it'll be available for streaming within 3 months. So, I mean, that'll give us the fourth. Go ahead and knock them out and get part of the franchise, I'm cool with it.
Let's see.
June Wick.
John Wick Chapter 4, the latest installment, Chapter 4 franchise, is coming to Disney Plus on July the 8th. Why is it Disney Plus? Is that right?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That can't
It should be
right.
Hulu.
Should be like either that or HBO.
Yeah, because it's Lionsgate.
I don't know. That might be wrong.
But even so, we can knock out 1, 2, and 3 in June, and then pick up the fourth one whenever it comes out. Because I do want to watch all of them. Like I said, I just haven't got around to it yet. So
It'll hit stars
Same
first.
here.
That's what it says.
Okay.
Yeah.
well, that's nothing but a free trial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but a free trial.
Not really
so.
got a date, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So Henry Cavill's Highlander reboot could work better as a TV series, said Chad Stileski. So John Wick director Chad Stileski has offered some insight into his plan for the Henry Cavill-led Highlander reboot, with the action movie director now thinking the project could work even better as a television series. Speaking with Deadline, Stileski compares the Highlander franchise to that of Mr. Wick, highlighting the differences in starting a mythology from scratch with continuing a lore that has been around for decades. I've worked on Highlander for years now for Henry Cavill. Being retroactive is hard. What's different between Wick and that? With Wick, you weren't serving 7 seasons of TV plus 2 spin-offs plus 5 films. It is the difference. It is this difference that now has Stileski considering a Highlander series instead, as it would give him ample time to explore the vast Highlander mythology. If I were to do a remake of Highlander right now, you'd expect a lot of mythology in those first 2 hours. You couldn't explore stuff without it. Now, Highlander as a TV show, now that would be amazing. You'd have time to build it out, see all those flashbacks and the potential of it. It's trickier when you're trying to do something with that big of a mythology. That would be one to take a really big stab at. Here, we just had the opportunity to really learn as we went on with Wick. So, I guess my question is it really going to be are they going to pick up with? I mean, the way that he's talking, they're taking everything into consideration, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you've still like Christopher Lambert's still alive, right?
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure the dude from the TV series is still alive as well. So that would be very, very interesting if they were able to do that and bring some of these OG guys back into it and continue the story on with Cavill. That would be very interesting.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Because in Highlander you had those characters in those moments where they would like sacrifice themselves so that the other person could become more powerful to defeat, the powerful one, the bad guy or whatever. So you could definitely see something like that play out,
Yeah, I'd like for it to be a show.
Yeah, I would enjoy that so much more. And I think Cavill's going to kill it too, of course, So Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel recruits I can never say this. Nanjiani? How do you pronounce his name? Nanjiani and Patton Oswalt. And I'm not going to go through all this stuff because it just talks about, everybody and what they've been doing and everything. It's currently filming, of course. Jason Reitman co-wrote the script with Gil Keenan. For the sequel, also written by the pair, Keenan will be taking over as director. Both are also serving as producers with Jason Blumenfield. Reitman was a producer on Afterlife, though he passed away in 2022, making that movie his final work as a filmmaker. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
No.
With these 2 guys getting cast,
Well, I'm wondering if they're building, like, imagine them becoming Ghostbusters with Ant-Man.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You're building the new team.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt's kind of your Aykroyd.
Yeah, he's very Aykroyd-ish.
But there is too much of a good thing though.
Well, I think that you are with the way that dude's character was in the other Ghostbusters flick, he was a teacher. He was very kind of like down to earth, but he was very excited about all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He had this like curiosity about everything, and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
So
he was us in the movie. Like he was the audience.
exactly. Yes, exactly. So if they bring him in, then he'll to me, like he would have more of like an Aykroyd. He had more of an Aykroyd-esque kind of personality per se, but I don't know if they'll write him that way in the follow-up because I would assume that like they're going into all this and it's either going to be something where it's like they've been established and this is like, you know, a normal routine thing that they're doing, or they go into it where it's like this is their first mission. And it's like I don't know how are the personalities going to be written.
Yeah.
I The thing that Ghostbusters and a lot of those flicks back in the day did was they were able to have all of these like comedic geniuses in there, and like nobody overshadowed anybody else. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
With like their timing, with their way, their approach to comedy. They were all written differently. They were all,
Yeah.
it was enough of a separation between the characters where it didn't feel like it was like goofy or out of place. So if they can keep that same spirit up, I think that they'll be okay. They've just got to be good and clever at writing the characters because they've got incredible people in it. But I don't want it to be a dick measuring contest either. Like
Yeah.
you said, Trav, it could be too much of a good thing where you have like people trying to like, it feels almost like they're trying to one up one another. So I wouldn't mind for if the dude from Silicon Valley was more of like the intellectual smartass. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Well,
Because
my whole thing is that Afterlife was the pleasant surprise that I don't know. It gave closure for the original Ghostbusters, and I know they set up for more films, but it was just a nice. I don't know. I felt like it should have been just a nice one and done.
right,
It gave us answers as to what happened, what went on with their lives. Like,
yeah,
didn't necessarily have to really try to spark curiosity with, oh man, there's always going to have to be Ghostbusters.
yeah.
But
And I think the idea too is like, to me, you have like, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, then you have Afterlife. And Afterlife, like you said, was like, it was should have been one and done. It seems to me the way that they're taking the production and everything, because like there's been no mention that like Finn Wolfhard and those kids are coming back.
Finn Wolfhard's
Like
in it.
I'm
Yeah,
okay.
he's in it.
So I'm assuming that they're gonna have some crossover. Of course, you're gonna have Ant-Man. Paul Rudd is gonna be crossover, but that you could almost like look at it and view it as like, here is the middle film.
Yeah.
If the new stuff doesn't do great, they can shut it off and be like, okay, it is what it is, whatever. You don't have to, it's not required viewing. This is the story of the original Ghostbusters. You got 1, 2, Afterlife, done.
Yeah, that's like you got a trilogy.
Yeah,
It really felt like a trilogy there.
yeah,
Because this is almost like it's more Ghostbusters, but it's almost like a reboot.
yeah. It's
Like
like
we're
it's,
building a new
exactly.
team. There's a little crossover. See, I think with Finn Wolfhard in it, I mean, Harold Ramis, that was his grandfather, right? So he'll be
Yeah,
in that position.
right.
well,
I don't know.
because to me one of the best parts of Afterlife was the revelation that Egon had been saving the world every fucking day
And caught
since
shit
the
for
events
it.
of the second one. Ever
Yeah.
since the second one. And I don't know, I thought that was very. I mean, I'm not really going anywhere, but that's really, really. That kind of encapsulated a lot of that movie for me.
Yeah.
Was Harold Ramis. And not necessarily in that whole, let's just pay tribute to one character in a movie where, like you said, Griffin, it was a perfect blend of all these of all these comedic legends now,
Yeah.
and one didn't outshine the other per se.
No. It's kind of incredible when you sit back and think about it. you had this wonderful cast, and then everybody else that they surrounded themselves with. From the fucking the receptionist chick, fucking hilarious. Like her, their chemistry with her was incredible. You got Sigourney Weaver in there, you know, and then you've got fucking dude from Strange Brew still in the fucking show when he's in those scenes. You know, like geniuses, man. Absolute fucking geniuses when they wrote that shit.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see Bill Murray.
No, no,
I
no,
think
no.
they did that one. They're like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Well,
We came back, we
will
did it.
will this movie be entertaining? Probably,
It's Ghostbusters.
but yeah, but I don't think. Like, I think the echelon will always be, or the pantheon in Ghostbusters is gonna always be 1, 2 in this one. Like,
Yeah.
and I think when general audiences can go in, when they can set their expectation meter to know that it's not going to be better than the Afterlife. I mean, it leaves room for the new stuff to possibly like surpass it. But I think just like with the blunder we had in the 2016 Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
um, the expectation meter was really, really high, and it did not meet it at all, regardless
Well,
of what stance you took with that movie. And I've heard very adamant Ghostbusters fans actually say that they enjoyed it for what it was.
I still
yeah.
haven't seen it.
Same.
So,
Well,
you can take that with you.
I think that the writers and directors are smart enough to know that they're not trying to like surpass what the originals were.
Yeah.
Like if they go into writing this new set of Ghostbusters and this new story with the idea of like we're gonna top what came before us. If they don't have that in mind and they just focus on writing a good story, then they can't fail because it can kind of write itself to an extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, like go full Mandalorian with it. Give us
Exactly.
something new with something old.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that they'll be because it was executed perfectly in Afterlife, and it lived like it was what we wanted, you know, as an audience. It's what we wanted as kind of like the final pin and, you know, nail in the coffin, as you will, for the original. Now they don't have to live up to that. They just have to write or try to surpass that. They just have to write a good enough story to be taken seriously, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, I would go so far as to say that Afterlife easily one of the few, if probably the only movies that I've went to the theater, and when I left, I had such a good time that I was like legitimately just smile, just happy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
you go to a movie and you actually got what you wanted.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
And with it being written by his son still,
yeah.
like I've got faith in him to write a good script because he killed it with that one.
Oh, for sure.
But if this doesn't do
Absolutely.
well, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they'll pull. Okay, we're done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like he did a good enough job to get the benefit of a doubt now.
Yeah. So next up here, Peaky Blinders creator to write the new Star Wars movie following Lindelof's departure.
Oh,
So the current untitled Star Wars movie being directed by Charmaine Obaid Chinoy has found its new writer in Peaky Blinders and C creator Stephen Knight. According to Variety, Knight has joined the new Star Wars movies as writer following the departure of Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson when they seemingly couldn't deliver the right project for Lucasfilm. The new movie expected to hit cinemas in December of 2025 as the next big screen outing for the space saga. More information on the movie is thought to be coming at Star Wars Celebration in April. Stephen Knight has a long resume of movies and TV shows to his name, and his work has spanned many genres, including crime, drama, comedy, and thrillers and biographies. War thrillers and biographies. He was also tasked with writing the treatment for Man of Steel 2 before James Gunn and Peter Safran took the helm of the DCU. With his previous experience, it will be interesting to see what Knight can bring to the Star Wars table. It is unpredictable and increasingly difficult to pin down world of Star Wars. It seems that finding the right story for the franchise's post Skywalker is proving to be a tough ask, as Lindelof appeared to allude to recently. And then they've got a quote from Lindelof, and then we talked about that last week. So I don't know what this guy's done. I'm gonna look it
A
up
bunch of
because I
shit,
know.
dude. Like since the 90s, early 90s. Like, I'm only seeing a
Well,
few things that I'm familiar with.
well, my thing is that he did Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not bad, but what that red flags for me is that they're still trying to inject this moral ambiguity into Star Wars. And I think that while it makes for a more enriching story, it's not what this franchise needs.
I'd be a little worried about the director, too. I mean, other than Miss Marvel, it's just a bunch of like foreign films that I've never
Yeah.
heard of any of them. I mean,
Right.
Well, I say all that to say that, like, they're going to probably have some smugglers, some sort of, man, the Empire and the Resistance were buying from the same people. Like that type of shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It's just not I just don't think that's the right fit for Star Wars. Like, I'm not against that as a narrative device, or, like I said, it makes for better stories and stuff for sure.
Yeah.
But not every franchise on the block needs to have the the weird, like, that weird gray area per se. And I know we talked about this last week,
Yeah.
and it just seems like they're still trying to do that.
what scares me too,
Well,
man,
and
is how many directors have dropped out. Like, pass. I mean, writers like Lindelof. You know, he wanted a Star Wars movie under his belt,
yeah.
but he was like, this ain't gonna work out.
Well, and I think that the idea of here's my interpretation, and this might be why Stephen Knight was brought in, um, is like a departure of like what has not a departure to something new, a departure to something familiar in a way to where it's like, Lindelof's going to come in with some crazy shit. A lot of
Yeah.
the writers and directors that have been attached to the project is probably like, hey, what if Star Wars was like blank? And insert blank with like whatever, whatever it is. Maybe the challenge for Stephen Knight was like, oh, I've done a lot of crime dramas, I've done a lot
Yeah.
of this. What if I step outside of my own comfort zone for a second
Outside the
and I
box.
focus on well, and he's like, let's go back to the Star Wars that we grew up with, where it's just like a family fun sci-fi adventure film. That's something that I've never done before. Can I do this? I'm a well enough, respected enough writer to be someone that can absolutely come in and deliver on a lot of different genres and a lot of different things. Can I put myself in something that I'm not familiar with and still be successful with it? And I don't want to say that like Disney's desperate, but they could potentially be desperate to just bring on any writer that says yes to the project at this point, since they need to start filming that like yesterday. If it's going to come out in 2025, they needed to start filming that shit yesterday. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping, like, I'm going to give dude benefit of the doubt. Like, if he comes out and tries to do like this gritty, like crime drama thing and like make it like that, then it is what it is, whatever. But I feel like, with his resume, what I just looked up on IMDb, it would really help him very, very, very much if he stepped out of that comfort zone and tried something that was foreign for him, but familiar for the core Star Wars, viewer base.
Yeah, being able to look at it through the lens of maybe he's seeing it as a challenge, that's obviously more hopeful for sure, and I'm down with that. And he probably can, because when it comes to these writers that do the crime drama, they have to care about all these little intricate details and nuances
Yeah.
that make you, you have to be able to make your audience enjoy a bad guy. Like
Yeah, exactly.
like making you root for someone who is completely on the other side of the moral spectrum than you.
Yeah.
Is a hard thing.
Yeah.
That's why Walter White was such a captivating character. You
Yeah.
were rooting for a selfish asshole, regardless of whether, like, the cancer didn't matter anymore by the end of that show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being able to do that for Star Wars would be good. And don't get me wrong, I know that the story of Vader is right up this guy's alley in terms of how to write a character. A good guy who went bad doing who did a bad thing,
Yeah.
But I guess the thing is that the reason why I like Vader's the exception is because going in there and embellishing all these characters with this ambiguity, it lessens some of the narrative effect of Vader in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, to me, we've all, especially when we were kids, we all wrote stories to where everything was pretty black and white.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was born in 1959, so he was there peak Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, watched it in his dad's lap.
So, yeah. So, I mean, he may just want to write that. Let me write a story where it's like the bad guy is just bad
We're going
and the
back to
good
the
guy is just
basics.
good. Yeah.
Well,
And
being able to do that, but not make it dumbed down.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I know that the way you could take my argument for the moral ambiguity and make it be like, oh, well, you just want little kid sky is blue, water is wet. Like, no, like you can write a complicated and
Star is
interesting
Wars.
story with defined good and evil, and you don't let those lines get blurred. It
Yeah.
can be done. It's just probably going to be a little harder to do now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at dude from Gus from fucking Mandalorian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy's bad guy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
And
like
it was
they
like he
haven't.
wasn't just Gus.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
He was
Yeah,
able to step out
yeah,
there and be like, "No, watch this."
yeah. So, and that's the thing with me. It's like that Favreau gets it, and that's the thing. Like maybe because of everything that's going on, maybe him and Favreau had a conversation, and it's like, dude, it's okay to just have bad guys be bad and good guys be good. And yeah, you can kind of delve into it, like everybody has their own selfish motivations at the end of the day. So whether what like most of the time, in reality too, well, for the most part, you have people that are making bad decisions for good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's just life. That's just how things go. Somebody tried to rob a bank. Why did they try to rob a bank? Well, they need to get money for fucking medicine or
Yeah.
whatever it is for their, that's
Starving
just the way that
kids.
it is.
You know?
Yeah. And it's like you can sympathize with that to an extent, but like bad can just be bad. You don't have to embellish it. You don't have to, do all this crazy nonsense with it. Just let it be what it is. So,
Well, if you use it as a narrative construct like they did with Anakin, like he's
yes.
he's the prime example. He
Yeah.
dabbled with the dark side because he didn't want Padme to die. Who
Yeah.
wouldn't have done that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to take that and kind of spread it out even more and more and more makes using it for, I don't know. I feel like it's like,
It makes it tropey.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this room is blue, so we're going to paint the whole house blue.
Yeah. And it's like, do we have to though? Yeah.
Chartreuse.
Yeah. So next up, this is we haven't heard about this in a little bit here. Todd McFarlane teases more A-listers joining Jamie Foxx in a long gestating Spawn reboot. At this point, many Spawn fans are probably doubting that the long gestating reboot will ever see the light of day, but creator Todd McFarlane has provided another update on the project. For years, McFarlane has been tinkering with the reboot, at one point bringing in Jamie Foxx to lead the cast as the new version of Spawn. The film can't seem to make its way out of development hell, but the success of R-rated comic book adaptations in recent years may help McFarlane finally get that more mature adaptation he wants to finally get made. Last year, it was reported that the film was back on track with a new script in the works from the team of Scott Silver, who worked on Joker, Malcolm Spellman, who worked on The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Matt Mixon, who worked on Yesterday Was Everything. McFarlane had planned on directing the movie himself for a while, but he's relaxed on that idea, now keeping a lookout for the right director to bring the new Spawn to life. In a chat with comicbook.com, McFarlane provided an update on the project, clarifying why he's no longer up for directing. First, he teased that Fox won't be alone with his A-list status as the star of Spawn, as McFarlane says other big names will soon be announced for the cast. As McFarlane says, this will increase studio interest along with the chances of actually getting Spawn greenlit. My original plan has gotten tripped up a bit. You deal with a lot given Hollywood. None of that should be surprising, but you start bringing on A-list people, and we're bringing on A-list people. Not just one, but multiple A-list people. And it's going to continue to grow. You're going to sell it to a studio, and then it's going to grow some more. What they're not going to want is to do a cheap, low-budget movie with all of these big-name people in it. That's not why they're signing up. They're not looking for a big extravaganza, but they're also not looking for an $8 million horror movie budget. So, we talked about this one of the last times that Spawn was brought up about like, does McFarlane have to direct it? And the answer is no. And I think at the time that we were talking about it, we kind of agreed that like maybe the reason that they can't get it made is like who's wanting to bet the big dollars on a first time director
Yeah.
directing his own property, so he's going to be very biased
Yeah.
about it, and then
Well,
you've had
you can't have an echo chamber
Dude,
built
the only
around
thing
you for
he's
something
ever
like
directed
this.
is music videos.
Yeah.
6 of them.
yeah.
That's it.
So I think that like if he comes on as like producer, he has some creative control.
Yeah.
If I'm sure that he'll write it in where it's like he gets final say on design, he gets final say on this, that, the other, which is fine. Like it's his creation. If he wants to be that involved with it, then let him be that involved with it. But you also need someone that can handle a cast, that can
Yeah.
handle a crew. Like nobody wants to invest the time and money into something that is going to inevitably fall apart while they're trying to create
I
it.
think he just confirmed that that's why the movie's been just
Yeah.
hasn't gotten made yet, is because people are like, yeah, we're not going to give you fucking $20 million, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Nah, I mean, you've never made a movie.
Yeah.
Like,
So
can't happen.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you can draw and write a hell of a comic, but
Yeah.
we ain't letting you touch a fucking camera.
Cool characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
But get a big director involved. Then the studio's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to pull over like the original Deadpool director.
Oh,
Like that would make sense if they
Yeah.
tried to pull him. There's a couple of directors out there that I feel like could handle doing Spawn very well. And like once a director gets attached, and if the script is strong enough to pull Jamie Foxx, and like there's been so many people attached to it in one way or another, the script has to be good,
Well, Jamie Foxx can call up people and be like, yo,
Yeah,
we're doing
Spawn.
the Spawn movie and
Yeah,
you'd be perfect for this role. Like, he's got connections.
yeah, exactly.
Also with directors.
Yes, yeah. So that's it. It sounds like maybe this is going to be, because this was published 4 days ago. Maybe this is going to get the ball rolling, and maybe by this time next year we're getting a trailer for it. So last up here, Liv Tyler set to return as Betty Ross in Captain America: New World Order. So Anthony Mackie will be joined by Liv Tyler in the upcoming superhero movie Captain America: New World Order. The film marks the first in the Captain America movie series to be headlined by Mackie, following Chris Evans ending his run as Steve Rogers with Avengers Endgame. The Disney Plus series established Mackie's Sam Wilson as the new Captain America, carrying on the shield in Steve's honor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the foreseeable future. Julius Ona directs the fourth Captain America movie using a screenplay by Malcolm Spellman and Dalen Musan. Now, per THR, it's been revealed that Tyler has boarded the cast of Captain America 4 as well. She'll be reprising the role from 2008's Incredible Hulk as Betty Ross.
Yeah.
The daughter, General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, the late William Hurt, played General Ross in the previous film, and it's been previously reported that Harrison Ford is taking over the role for Captain America: A New World Order. Oddly enough, Tim Blake Nelson has also been confirmed to return as the leader, adding yet another Incredible Hulk character to the cast. Others set to appear in the show include the Falcon and Winter Soldier stars Carl Lumbly and Danny Ramirez, reprising their respective roles as Isaiah Bradley and Joaquin Torres, while Shira Haas will debut as a new character. Tyler's not appeared in the MCU since playing Betty in The Incredible Hulk, though it should be noted she lent her voice to the character for the video game adaptation that was also released in 2008. More recent years, she's been spending a lot of time on the small screen with main roles in TV shows like The Leftovers, Harlots, and 911 Lone Star. Back in 2010, Tyler followed up her Hulk role with an appearance in James Gunn's superhero satire movie Super. She'd go on to appear in other films like Jamie Marks is Dead, Wildling, and Ad Astra.
Since they're pulling so much from that movie, I guess, I mean, they probably, you think Tim Roth might show up too? I mean,
I would think so.
he was in
yeah.
that movie.
Yeah.
They've kind of
I would
already
think so.
introduced him. Like,
Yeah. It would make sense for sure. And that leads me to believe, like, if they're gonna be pulling the leader over, if she's gonna be in it, like, is the Hulk gonna be, like, you know what I mean? Like, is he gonna be showing up in it? Like, what's happening here? Is this gonna be like another Hulk movie, but it's not a Hulk movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
not another Hulk movie.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I thought that was cool. Like, it's cool they're bringing her back, and who knows? Her dying, like, and I know that there's been no connections with like the MCU, Betty Ross, Hulk, all this kind of stuff that's been going on, this, that, and the other. But like, her death could send Hulk into a spiral where he can't control it anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that might cause World War Hulk to happen. Like, if they're actually going to do World War Hulk, that could be what spirals them out of control. So, but it'd be all right. But that was all the movie news that I found interesting this week.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. We got some interesting trailers lined up in the canon though, you know?
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know, some of them look promising, like this Hunt Club. It looks and those Power Rangers.
Yeah, they finally dropped the trailer.
Yeah, right.
30-year anniversary.
About time, bro. You know.
Sigourney Weaver. I bet she makes a good meatloaf.
I mean, I would hope so.
Probably not dry.
Nah, it's the moistest.
Stuffed with spinach, cheese.
Cheese, bacon.
Ooh. Go ahead and put some mushrooms in it.
Dude, don't even get me started. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Magnolia.
Still Magnolias. What you talking about, Willis?
The Edgertons have slowly won me over, man. Like, they're good actors.
Yeah. This dude looks like an MMA fighter.
Yeah, right.
His face is always real puffy, like he's been his ass kicked. The Deep Six. Whoa. Okay. So he's
This is the fucking sequel to American History
that's what I
X,
was thinking.
dude.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, I'm taking it like he came from a white supremacist family where he was caught up in their shit, broke from the mold, got him someone he cares about of a different race, and the family's like, nah. Like, I wonder if we're gonna see Sigourney Weaver be racist as shit in this movie.
I mean, she said she wasn't the Queen of Scotland, dude.
you'll do nothing.
Yeah. You'll do nothing.
You'll do nothing.
Donnie Yen, man.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay.
Ah. The way that sounds.
Got a dead master, a raided village. Guys, classic martial arts is back on the menu.
Horse. They killed his parents and his master?
I mean, this dude's coming back with a vengeance for real.
That's cool.
I'm so fucking in right now, dude.
Yes.
Look at that shit.
I mean, dude, stuff like this never gets old. I'm biased
No.
because I love watching these kind of movies.
Yeah.
You could tell me the same fucking story every time, and I'll be just as excited the first time. You know what I mean?
He's an airbender, dude.
Oh, here's the bad guy.
I mean, the fight choreography looks fucking awesome.
Dude, he even did that. Hang on. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Where he did the thing where he turned and the camera zoomed on him.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in there.
Yeah.
I want to watch that so bad.
Yeah, I
Oh
want to
my
be
God.
block.
Yeah,
That's a
let's
pod
go.
block, dude. Oh, From Black. That sounds like a badass album name.
Yeah.
I'm always hearing Corey and Justin talk about shit they got from Black, but I don't think it's
Never
this.
met the guy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, never met the guy, you know. So
Shout
I
out,
don't,
shout out to Black.
yeah, can't vouch, but he seems cool.
Hey, I'll put it this way: Black's got our back, man.
Heard it. I did not know where that was going, but that went in the perfect place. I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Mm.
Heroin.
Oh, from Black Tar Heroin. I get it. Nope. Demon Portal. Is this the shit they do to get famous?
The tagline says, "What's the price you would pay to bring back the person you love?"
This looks like a movie that could have used from a little A24. What the fuck? Dude, that sounds like the narrator from Doom. They sent out only you. Rip and tear until it is done. See, they fucked up, man. They shouldn't have shown the supernatural shit other than stuff like that. Like, don't ever do a creature reveal in these movies. Because now the suspense is fucking gone.
I mean, it doesn't look bad though.
But just hear me out, Griffin. If they had went that whole movie without seeing the entity until like the very fucking end, where it's some crazy thing where you're able to see like maybe two different perspectives. You're seeing the like the overworld, and then you see like that like the entity's domain, and you see like somebody being levitated. But then like when they like and save this all for the movie. Do not put this in the fucking trailer, you know.
Yeah.
But it just cuts to it where like she's bound by the chain and she's just like hovering there, and it just cuts to where like you see the creature holding it up, you know.
Right.
I
No,
don't
I,
know.
I agree.
It could have had some more A24 injected in it.
For Shutter, it didn't look bad though.
Yeah.
Like a
Shutter
production.
Shutter burned me though, man. They put out a banger and then they haven't topped it.
I mean,
I don't
everybody
think
gets one.
they haven't topped Blood Machines, and that sucks because that's a fucking music video.
I mean, that's gonna be hard.
I mean, a goddamn awesome one, but like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I want us to watch this as well, like, because I know we've seen a teaser for it, but I would like to personally add this one to the pile as well. Cheesy ass name, but I think it's gonna have more to it, you know?
Oh yeah. Let's see what this trailer do.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Dad.
I mean, what in the island Bollywood is this? I mean, it looks. It's Toei Animation, so of course it looks anime as fuck. Probably is based off, if not an anime, at least a manga.
Yeah, it's based
But
off of anime.
I mean, I'm picking up what it's putting down. I'm sure it's not as good as the anime, clearly, but it looks like a fun ride.
It's interesting, that cast. But
Well,
I'm for
you know what kind of movie we're getting with that cast. First off, Sean Bean's going to be dead within the first 30 minutes.
it.
Mm.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything, but you're
Well, he
right.
dies in every movie, man.
Yeah,
I couldn't
I
afford it.
mean, yeah, off with his head. The Black Damon.
Why are we bringing color into this?
It's a shark.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a shark movie.
Oh, I'm with Josh Lucas. Sign me up.
Ford v Ferrari, which was a great movie, y'all. Yellowstone.
For some
Let's
reason,
see.
I'm surprised we never podlocked Ford v Ferrari, or I thought we did.
I
We
watched
just
it.
haven't got around to
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
yeah,
it's definitely
I haven't.
It might have been a week where Adam
Something
was laying out some
dropped.
options.
Yeah,
but I did. I was like, it's worth. I'd definitely watch it
Oh.
again. But this
I
is
wanna
from the
watch it.
director of Rambo: Last Blood.
Mm,
Let's go.
okay. All
Right, y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Dark Shark. It starts happy, but
Yeah. You make me feel like dancing. Uh-huh.
They're like on a COD map.
mm, oh, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to just do that.
No.
Coco Loco. Yeah, a boat.
Dude, the Solo Namor film looks sick. All we need now is LL Cool J. Deepest, bluest, half it's like a shark fin.
He's like, will the dog work as a sacrifice?
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, open your eyes, Caron. That's a big ass shark.
Yeah.
This is like a combination of Jaws meets
Deep Blue Sea meets.
Yeah, like they're gonna bomb the show, or no, the only thing that would make this look better would be as if they had Peter Weller from Leviathan, where he goes, "Say ah, motherfucker," and he throws that bomb into the shark's mouth.
Well, that's it. Like, so the shark is covered in oil, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Burn,
set
baby.
it on fire.
Yeah.
I
What
mean,
can they do but cover 'em?
yeah. And if that dog's name isn't Julio,
Oh,
Julio,
yeah, right. Yeah.
Ow.
Come here, Julio.
Yeah. But can you prove it wrong?
Okay. That's all I was thinking after that happened. Okay, cabrón. We got a Red Band Renfield trailer.
The final one.
Renfield. I'm pretty excited about this for sure. The Renfield, dude. Watching these trailers makes me want to watch Dracula Dead and Loving It. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's been so long since I've seen that. We might have to do that. We might have to paddle like that, dude.
I haven't seen
But
that in a
yeah.
long time.
It's been. I've probably watched Young Frankenstein since then. Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play. That face. You are a creep.
What an appropriate song choice.
Oh God.
Silly ghost time, dude.
He's going full Bela Lugosi, dude.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn. What?
She's like, what the fuck?
uh, Silly ghost, dude.
Okay, so out of all the trailers, this is probably the best put together
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
He
like
is
the way
gonna
it's
hammer out
shot.
so much.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
And the color of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick
Oh,
Cage.
God,
dude,
is this-
perfect pick.
This fucking
Beetle piece
Mickey
of
Rourke. This is
I'm just a
Cookie
beetle
spaghetti.
piece of barfly.
Hey, I'm just an old sausage biscuit sitting out at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Hanging out like a hair in a biscuit.
I love this comment.
So
Love
wolf.
movies. Love movies like this. Watching bad guys get their ass kicked by the underdog.
Oh man, nothing
Right.
says stale sausage biscuit like that.
Then in America don't know what is.
This guy says looks like a solid 2.7 out of 10.
It's the 100th movie version of the book, The Most Dangerous Game. Yay.
Like, dude, what happened? He
Mickey.
did the wrestler, and it was like he was going to bounce back.
What's
And
the
then
Oscar
he's just-
curse, man?
Yeah. Let's see, though. I'm down for a Mickey Rourke trailer. 3, 2, 1, play.
Like that one movie, Barfly.
Are they hunting people? Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You're already playing the game, princess.
Oh, Daddy's home.
Oh God, is that gonna be the pitch for these people? You're gonna come out here and be a real man. You just have to be in this Andrew Tate video.
Whoa. Dude, and when you said it, they're all chained up on the bar, like. God damn.
You bet your ass he is. Someone called Disturbed because they're getting down with the thickness in this movie.
I just thought of Andrew Tate, dude, and he's in his cell and they knock on it like it's time to go out to the outside for a little bit or something. He's like, "Go away, Tate."
He's like he's like, your hunt has been prepared, sir. Thanks, just let me get my Bugatti. I like to hunt in my Bugatti.
Bring me a copy of that fucking movie, Hunt Club.
And one of those portable Philips DVD players. I want to have it to my side here.
They're like,
Well,
best we can do is
checking my investments.
VHS.
I'm not serving the powers that be, okay?
Let's see if they can pull this off.
Yeah, I'm ready for this.
Too bad Tommy didn't make it.
Yeah, I know, man.
Bit of a bummer.
Oh man, but you know they'll have a stylish reference.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same with everyone else that apparently isn't in this, because I think there's a couple other too.
Yeah.
Trina died. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Oscar curse, man. Oh. What?
Did you see the Green Ranger? Because I did.
Yeah.
Rangers. Oh, okay. That was her mom, and they're making that. Ay, ay, ay. The putties.
The way they were looking.
Yeah. Oh, the original. Whoa.
I mean, so here's okay. All right. So if you guys remember Jason David Frank back when the Bootleg Universe short film came out where it was all gritty,
Yeah.
you know, James Vanderbeek was the Red Ranger and all that stuff. Katie Sackhoff was the pink one. It was crazy how he managed to pull that off, but they brought that up to him at a panel, and he kind of broke down why he wouldn't be involved with it. Apparently, Saban, which is like the company
Roll
that
Tide.
helped
Oh.
syndicate it from Japan, because it was
Yeah.
called Super Sentai over there.
Mhm.
Anyway, they have the same level of approach, just like Toho does with Godzilla, and just like with Disney. Like they're very, very picky, and they have their own little set of standards.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how the tonal shift is something he couldn't get behind because of the fact that he's all in favor of like this vision, which is the more light-hearted action martial arts
Clean.
thing.
Yeah.
Very clean. And this looks like an episode of the show,
Yeah.
and
with better
you
quality.
yeah, and you can see what they mean.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll definitely spin it for nostalgia's sake, but
I have one
I
problem
mean,
with it. I mean,
what's
was
that?
Amy Jo Johnson just busy? Like,
Yeah.
Exactly right.
I mean,
Well, she's probably the cameo that's like the little, the one person
she's the
that
one in
like,
the Green Ranger suit.
oh
I'm like, you
man.
could get the Pink Ranger. What about Vulcan's Skull?
They're the
Well,
heroes that
it
come
would
back
be
at the end.
it would be fucked up, but hear me out. Rita comes back. She's got a new body. She does that whole power move at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's going to obviously be the tone setter for like, oh man, we've really got to go find ourselves, guys, before we fight this bitch again. Some shit like that. Wouldn't be surprised if she just straight up nerfed Tommy at the beginning.
I mean,
you come back for your second chance. Who do you kill right out the go? You go for the strongest one in the
You go
bunch.
for the Green Ranger. The
yeah.
Granger.
The Hermione Granger.
So this is like a Kill Bill ripoff, I think.
The boxed one?
I do think overall it's cool that they've went and done this little reunion thing. That way, new audiences can get a more modern version of what we grew up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Because everybody, I mean, for at least the past 30 years, every generation has had their iteration of them.
The
Yeah.
Mighty Morphin, the original. That's how old I am.
Oh yeah,
That one's mine. Dude, I was
Oh, yeah,
thinking
that's
about
why-
like Bulk and Skull, dude. Y'all remember their like music?
yeah.
That
Yeah.
like goofy burn,
Yeah, yeah.
wow, 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 when they always show up.
Fun fact: the American actors who played the Rangers, whenever they filmed those shows, the only things that were shot for it were all the Angel Grove sequences.
Yeah, and when they would have their helmets off, all the fighting stuff was from the.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
That's
straight
why it looked
imported
the way
from
it did. And you could almost tell, dude, like when they would talk, the way they would move.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think it looked weird.
Well,
Yeah.
even though they were wearing a mask, there was still
Yeah.
a lip sync delay. you know.
That if you haven't seen it, that Toys That Made Us or Shows That Made Us, what there's a Netflix series where they talk about the Power Rangers. And it was one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen in my entire life because it's like just some dude that's just like this thing is super popular in Japan. I want to bring it over to the US, but I want to film like US actors when they're out of the suit and kind of build like this whole like Saved by the Bell esque kind of thing that's going on.
Yeah.
And he was nobody. Like this dude was a nobody, and like got it brought. It's very fascinating. So if you've never seen it, I suggest anybody go watch that episode because
I'm gonna
the
check
whole
that
time
out.
I was mouth breathing
Yeah.
the whole time.
Because I was a huge fan.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
had the red
And
suit, the gloves. You could hit the button in
And
them.
Yeah.
anyone who ever picked up a guitar in the past 20
Yep.
or 30 years has tried to do that tapping part.
Dude, when you talk about people bringing shows over, recently I listened to a podcast with Daniel Day Kim from Lost, right?
Yeah.
Dude, The Good Doctor was
Yeah.
a Korean like K-drama, and he brought that here, pitched it, and got it made in America. That's a huge show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's massive
Yeah,
right
dude.
now, right?
I was
Yeah,
listening to
yeah.
that podcast. He's like, yeah, I just went over there, bought the rights to bring it, not there, but here. And
Yeah.
pitched it once. It didn't work out. Pitched it again somewhere else, and bam. And it's like, damn, you can just do that?
Because that's that show that's got that kid that was in Bates Motel, right?
Think so.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It
I
was
mean-
Grey's Anatomy. Now everybody's talking
The
about that.
Good
show.
No,
Doctor.
look, if you want to hear comedic gold, and I know this is making a lot of people with autism, but the way they marketed that show over the radio
Yeah.
was ridiculous. They'd be like, tonight on ABC's The Good Doctor, and you hear him go, I have autism.
Yeah.
It's just, it goes through the whole, like, it was back when they were still pitching it through season 1.
Yeah.
And I just remember hearing that going, what a weird way to, because you'd have to go, you're hearing these really dramatic scenes play out, but all you're hearing is the voice, like a audio drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Because even Bobby Lee, which was interviewing Daniel Day Kim, they did some kind of show together or something. Like, he was like, do they have autism in Korea? And he's like, I mean, yeah, I think so. It's like, what kind of question?
Dude,
was
did
like,
you
"Bro,
see that clip?
I did.
That
Now, I've seen that episode of Bad Friends. Well, heard it, but dude, that
I laughed.
podcast is gold.
He's
Every
so
episode.
stupid. Like he's like the Koreans didn't do anything bad, and it's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute. Oh my god. I'll shoot it over to you when we get through, Trav, so that you could fucking laugh for 50 minutes straight.
But yeah,
All right. Kill Bok soon.
y'all see what I mean? Like Kill Bill. All right.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. And really, by Kill Bill, it's just martial arts, sword.
This background music sounds like the waiting music of a stream.
Yeah.
Stream starting in 30 seconds.
They
Okay.
don't really give you a lot.
Okay.
You're a
Divine
terrible shot.
intervention. You do not play video games, I see. Oh man. Bollywood,
Here we
Bollywood,
go.
Bollywood,
Well, dude,
Bollywood.
not only do we have this one, next we got Tommy Wiseau's new film.
Oh god.
That's right,
That got
new film.
All right, well let's get our slow-mo counter out.
All right, drinking game. Whenever you see a cop with a mustache and a brown suit,
Take a shot.
yeah,
I'm ready. I got my shots lined up. I got at least 12 here.
dude, the trailer's only at 2 minutes and 22 seconds. You can have alcohol poisoning. It's like, ugh.
I can't go to work tomorrow.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yep, drunk. If you scream police brutality over there, the cops will just beat you to death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With those sticks.
Sala.
Are they going like Sala 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 AK-47? I feel like the Blu-ray for this, when you open it, it smells like a tobacco outlet.
A hookah shop.
Yep. There's your brown suit.
Man booby. He Just slapped the shit out of him. Yes. Mm-hmm. The way he looked at he's looking at him. Dude, cops over there, the main villain. Like,
The
Sala,
way
sala,
that he
sala.
looked.
Yeah.
I feel like
Dude.
someone overseas in the Bollywood like scene watched Walking Tall and was like, "That's gonna be the foundation for every movie we make.
More slow-mo, though.
It's gonna be just this motherfucker coming in being like, there will be law."
Yeah. The
Like-
cop's like, check your headlight. What?
This, I don't know what to think about this coming up.
Big shark.
I mean, I'm ready for it, dude. I'm excited.
I mean, here's the thing. It's going to make money.
3 firefighters, George, Patrick, and Tim. All right.
Right here, 10 out of 10. Fucking masterpiece. Tommy Wise Jaws. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. I mean, we got to watch this.
Sala, sala, sala.
At least it's not voiced over.
Yeah.
You can run, Mark. You can hide. What
Oh my God.
is
Oh my
happening?
God. Oh my God.
Bro, you have enough money to make that shark look better. I think that's part of it, though. It's like,
Yeah.
look at that. What? He does have an underwear line.
He's got a tattoo that says casino gold.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? Thunderwear is what it's called? Dude, I might have to order some of those.
Well, it was like thunder the way he would say it.
Thunder.
Dude, guys, hear me out. And they
I
could
don't
make
like it.
another version of it. No, oh, goddamn. But imagine Tommy Wiseau as the Crow.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude. Yes.
I cannot play guitar.
Yeah. I miss her. I miss her. It's like, what?
You're tearing me
I-
apart.
Sala, sala, sala.
He made a career off of it, dude.
I'm Eric
Yeah.
Draven, and I am Sad Man.
Next week,
Mm.
Babylon.
Yes. I'm gonna try to go watch the D&D movie this weekend if I can.
Hell yeah.
So, which we'll do. I'll let you guys know what's going on this weekend after this. But our anniversary is 2 days from today.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go out Sunday, grab some food, go to the movies. Make
Yeah.
make a little day out of it.
Day round
So
crunch.
a little sala.
Sala.
But yeah, I'll and I've seen like there's a lot of like D&D content creators that have like posted videos about their reviews for the D&D movie and everything. And a lot of them are like the trailer was kind of like marketed the movie as one thing, and it was more basically they marketed it as like a Guardians of the Galaxy esque kind of like action, flick.
Mm-hmm.
They said that it does have comedic moments and things, but it's more action than comedic bits,
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, So, but I also don't know what the sense of humor these people have either. Because like,
Yeah.
there something could
nerds.
happen. Yeah. Something could happen and I could find it absolutely hilarious and then
Mhm.
other people do. Like and then I talk to you guys and I'm like, dude, did you guys think this was funny? And they're like, yeah, well, laughed out loud, and it's like good, at least you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it could be a situation like that. But I'm still excited to see it. Like everybody has said that it was really good and it's a really good interpretation of like that world and what that is. So and then also they had the D&D like direct thing today. I can't remember what it's called. But Joe Manganiello is working on a 50th anniversary documentary for D&D.
Oh.
And after that, he also has locked in the rights to adapt um, one of their other locations. I can't think what they're called right off the top of my head, um, but Dragonlance is going to be adapted as a series, and he is going to be the producer, and he's going to be over the creative side of getting that set up. So, and that was something that was like set up as a world in D&D, and then also there were novels and things that kind of expanded on the world. So apparently he's going to be kind of adapting the novels and some of the source material from the adventures and stuff into a series. So that's stuff that's going to be coming up with D&D. So thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, Babylon, I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Solo.
Yeah, I got that stuck in my head now too.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like a checks on the mail.